Hello, hello, hello. It is Sunday, June 16th, and I welcome you to my YouTube channel. We care. We care about you, we care about your family, and we also care about your community. So, first of all, I would like to say Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers that are out there and all the single mothers that are taking care of their sons in reference to having to be both parents, the father and the mother. But I pray that today is a great day for everyone and that everybody's enjoying this day. Hopefully, you got good weather where you are. Our weather here is pretty good, so um, I'm proud of that. But yeah, prayers out to all the parents because parent never stops. It doesn't matter how old your child gets, they can be grown. Parenting still never stops, honey. So kudos to that. So today's topic is here today to talk about, again, stages of disaster. Last time I talked to you guys, I talked about the stages of disaster and the stages and phases that one may go through and how it has an impact on your mental wealth or your mental health. So today, I'm here to talk a little bit more about that, but in a different light of it. Last time I talked about how it affects a person's mental health and how the person that goes through the disaster is impacted. But today, I want to talk about how the people that help in those disastrous situations, how they are now impacted and how it impacts them. So every so often when disasters happen, again, I told you we never know when they're going to happen. However, ever so often when they do happen, we have to have people that help out. The rescue people come out. You have first aid out there. You got FEMA that's trying to help out in certain situations. You got what they call it, where they have to do the emergency shelter. I mean, it's just people have to come together and they have to actually help out those that who have actually been impacted. So I don't think that because people come out and they have to help out, that the people that are impacted, I don't think that they realize how much impact it puts on the people that actually has to come out and help as well. So that is what I'm going to discuss with you today. Okay. So the last time I talked about the phases, and the phases were you go through stage one, which is pre-disaster. That's where we don't know the disaster is about to happen, but it happens. And you talk about the actual disaster itself being a process. And then you talked about the heroic phase, I'm sorry, where people have those when the people that come out. That's when the people come out, they're heroes. They come out and they be heroes in the heroic phase. Then you talk about the honeymoon phase where people have the hope and the encouragement, and the disillusionment phase where reality actually sets in that, wow, this really happened to me. And then the reconstruction phase where you actually have to rebuild yourself and come into a new normal. Um, those phases may seem as if, though, like I say, the only person that goes through them is the person that's actually impacted. But what people don't know is that there are so many people in the community that have to pull it together and actually help, that actually went through the same thing as those that went through the disaster or the disaster even happened to. So I don't think that people recognize that. And even if, say, for instance, Katrina, the pandemic, 9/11, things of that nature, all the hurricanes that we've been having lately, the floods in Miami that's going on right now, people are having to actually leave from where they are and go pack up and go help because we pull together as a nation. It's not just one state, it's the state in the United States, and together it's called United States for a reason because we're united. So we try to come together as people no matter where we are to fly out and help those other people that are in need. And we pray and hope if something happens in somewhere else that those people will do the same. So, in reference to that, I want to talk to you about those phases, okay, in reference to how it impacts the person that helps. So, today in the heroic phase, people come out and they get excited about wanting to help, okay? And I mean, because it's a disaster, right? And no one wants to see anybody go through anything. If your heart cares, and you're empathetic and you have some sympathy for people, you want to help, you want to give back. And so it is in that phase where a lot of people, they spend a lot of energy and they have to gather up themselves to get themselves to come out and try to help. But what about the heroes, right? The heroes that come out, what about them, right? So the heroes that come out, being that you come out and you be this hero, it's best that you have to take care of yourself in order to be a hero, right? I'm going to use our dads, for instance, because today is Father's Day. The dad is the king of the family. The dad is the person that handles everything in the family. If something breaks down, the dad normally fix it. The dad try to keep the structure of the family together. The dad is the hero. And so what happens if the dad breaks down? The dad can't be the hero then, right? So the rest of the family have to kind of come in and try to help dad out at that point. Well, it's just like that in a heroic situation where a disaster happens and a person has to come out and help out. A dad has to take care of themselves too. And I recommend all you fathers to do so. Like today is Father's Day. Take care of yourself. Do whatever you feel you want to do today because it's your day. And I know you don't often get celebrated, but take care of yourself because you are heroes. But in that phase, typically, you have some people that become emotionally withdrawn. You have some people that become emotionally like hurt because they feel as if though they've given themselves so much to other people and nothing, they don't seem to be fulfilled for themselves, right? So that's why it's very important for people to take care of themselves, because it is a need and it is a challenge just for you to get up and go out and help other people. You become in a denial situation, and that's just what I meant by what I said. You feel like no one's there for you. You're in denial about how you feel about yourself because you're giving so much of to other people. So I want to talk about the intervention of that. You have to learn to develop relationships with people that's going to be able to help you take care of yourself and give you back love and support that you need. It's like if your cup is half empty and your cup is full and you've given everything over here to this cup to fill this cup up. Now your cup is empty. Who's going to give back to you, right? So you have to recognize people and build great relationships with people so that you can continuously be the hero that you are. And that is my recommendation. Like, I've been there and I understand it's very important that you develop relationships and you collaborate with other people. Like today, fathers, collaborate with other fathers and get with them so that y'all can celebrate y'all, because it's going to only uplift you. And as a hero, it only uplifts those heroes to be able to do that. So when you're in a community, and you know, like you say, you never know when a disaster is going to happen. But if you already build relationships with people in the community, other organizations building relationships with organizations, you can be prepared for a pre-disaster to happen, because then you have somebody to call on. Then you know who has your back. Then you know if I need something, I could call this person. So that is a great way to give yourself back what you need and begin the journey of, you know, because you've given all your energy out, because we be so energized to help, but who's going to help you? So in a heroic phase of a disaster and the person that's helping, make sure that you're taking care of yourself as well by giving yourself what you need, building relationships with other people. Okay, so the next stage that I talked about was like a honeymoon phase. Now, in the heroic stage is where we go out and we want to rescue people. We're, you know, like myself. I work for HHS. I go out and I help people for mental health investigations, and I've worked with CPS, and I go out and I help, you know, people with things of that nature. So, you know, kids with abuse and neglect. So I feel that I'm a hero, but if I don't take care of me, I'm liable to break down, right? So that's, you know, that's what I mean. But there comes a honeymoon phase where, in the honeymoon phase, you have faith, you have belief, and you feel as if though you're doing all that you can do to help out and whatnot, and so you come to a point where you crash. Because you don't have what I just was talking about in that heroic phase. If you don't have that, you crash. You typically crash anyways because you've been out there helping. You've been out there trying to get people, give people back what they need, support what they need because they've experienced this bad disaster. So now you have to help them. But who's going to help you? So you come to a point where you crash. And this comes at the point, typically at the end of the disaster, right? When the disaster is over, you've rescued everybody, you've done all that you can do to help people, and the disaster is kind of ending as things are slowing down for the disaster. You're almost going into the recovery phase, but in that crash moment is where you may occur. You become exhausted, you're tired, you've been out there, you've been helping, you've been rescuing people in boats and water from Katrina and the pandemic. People have passed away, and now you like the nurse that has seen all these people die, and you've been trying to bust your behind, trying to make sure that, these people don't die. Or you've seen so much, in 9/11, you went over there and you've helped them with cleaning up the process of everything and help the people, the victims who have been, hurt and traumatized behind all of this. But you come to a point where because you've done all of that, you are simply exhausted, like just so tired. And this happens because of that. Because who just have an Energizer battery in their pack where they can just keep going and keep going and keep going? Well, some people do, but even those people come to a crash. So again, you got to take care of yourself. You really, really do. I mean, counseling. I talked about counseling in my last video, and when you crash and you had that moment where I'm exhausted, I don't know what to do, you got to give yourself time. You got to give yourself rest. You got to give your body what it needs. You got to give your mind what it needs. You got to give your spirit what it needs. So for those that go out and help, I don't think, again, y'all think about it like this, but, we go out, we rescue, and then we come to a crashing point. So we need that time, and we may withdraw from people. And you may need to withdraw from people. You may need to withdraw from the world. Take a vacation, go somewhere. Counseling, get you a life coach. Those are things that you can do to help yourself. Now, going into the disillusionment phase, when you crash and a person has those crashing moments, they become fearful. You become angry. You become agitated. You may even become hopeless because you don't know, again, if you've made all the right things and the right moves to help out in the way that you should. You kind of beat yourself up, and that's just not the way to go. People that experience these things and go out and be the rescuers or the heroic people, they also get mental health. They also experience mental health challenges. They also experience depression, PTSD from the things that they saw, the people that they've helped, So it's good to sometimes get yourself into therapy and get into whatever therapy is going to be helpful. Now, excuse me, like I was saying before, you have some people that are in the community that are also going through experiencing some of these disasters. So grief therapy is something that you need because you've had a loss. So that's another intervention that people can actually get off into. I mean, you have people who have seen so much that they want to commit suicide because it has taken a toll on them. And it's best for you to step aside. Again, take care of yourself. Self-care is the number one aspect, because if you don't take care of you, you can't be that hero. So it's very important that you do grief therapy. You can even do change talk therapy, where you just go out and you just need to talk to somebody. Make sure you choose this the right person to talk to. But get it off your chest, because being a hero is hard. Crashing is hard. getting into the disillusionment phase where you get upset, it takes a toll on your body and it can cause you to have some mental disabilities as well. So, my final say on that is take care of you. Do whatever therapy you need to do. Um, Grab you some people who you trust and build you a network of people who can support you. And never be afraid to go to counseling and get what you need for you. Okay? And I say that to all the fathers today because I know that today may be a day where you all are not feeling worthy or valuable because the mothers get so much more. You all feel I've been hearing and this and that, and it's okay. I want to let you know from me that we do value you as fathers, and if you are a father, be a better father, and that's what I'm gonna say because be a better father and be the hero that we need you to be for this world, for our children, because they're our generation and they're the next ones coming up, and you are a role model. So you're a role model, you're a hero. And we know that you have crashing moments, but you got to take care of yourself because we don't want you to see and have fear and anger and hate because that goes off to your children. So just remember that. And in this world, we are all heroes. So we all need to take care of ourselves. So I want to say thank you. And I appreciate everybody tapping in. If you've tapped in to see my video, my resources today that I used, they did come from the needs and challenges video that I watched and learned more about these phases. And I also want to recognize the resource of Fundamentals of Crisis Counseling. That is a book by Jerry Miller. Those are my resources that I gathered some of my information from. And again, I say thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. We care. Well, we care about you. We care about your family. And we most definitely care about your community. You all have a great Sunday.